What up, YouTube? This video is taken on this Saturday afternoon, September 17th, 2022. Time right now is 5:20 p.m. And I thought I would make another flapping video. I'm calling these flap and flew videos, where I just overlay videos of me flying drones over me talking about something. And I just got back. I went out flying today with my buddy Stacy Abshire, and we were going to go to a Brando, but it was unflyable. I mean, it could have been flyable, but we didn't want to push the limits. So we ended up just spot hopping to different spots. I didn't have anything in particular in mind, just a couple of things in my head. So that's what I'm going to be overlaying on this video. I was going to film this driving home again, but I forgot my regular camera. I left it here, so I thought I would just film it here. This is my Florida room. This is what they called it. They called this my Florida room when I bought the house. I barely use it, except I have my laser cutter in here, and I have my 3D printer in here. And I kind of use it more as like a mud room. And then I have that workbench I made, and I have the laser cutter here. And just fun fact, this recliner I'm sitting on used to be owned by Furlan Husky. So those of you who are country music fans should know that name. Simon Crumb, I think, was his alias. So that's a little fun fact, that this recliner used to be owned by that. But anyway, moving on, I wanted to talk the TLDW of this video is that Busch Gardens raised their annual passes price. Kinda. There's an asterisk there. So basically, I like going to Busch Gardens, and I had an annual pass for 2 years. The 4 parks, 1 pass, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, and the 2 water parks. And, I like going there just to ride the coasters. And that's pretty much all I do there. But my pass expired in June, this past June, and I was kind of coastered out. I try to go either to SeaWorld or Busch Gardens once a month to make that pass worthwhile. And I was just kind of burnt out, so I didn't renew it. But a whole bunch of friends of mine decided that they wanted to go to Busch Gardens. And we ended up going this past Monday, September 12th. But I didn't have a pass, so I waited till Labor Day to see if they had any Labor Day sales on passes. They didn't. They did have a sale on the fun card. Buy the fun card, get the rest of this year and next year for free. But you got to pay for parking with the fun card, so that ends up very quickly not being as good of a value. It's a really good value if you don't have to pay for parking, if you know someone with a pass. So they didn't have any annual pass sales for Labor Day, so I ended up waiting past Labor Day, and I got an email saying that on Monday, September 12th, which was the day that we were going to go, they were going to raise all the annual passes. So I thought to myself, I should go ahead and buy a pass this week before the prices go up. So anyway, so they were advertising that the silver pass, which, by the way, you want to get the silver pass because that's the lowest pass that has free parking, which, like I said, is a must because that parking adds up quick. The silver pass, 4 parks, for 1 year annual pass, they were advertising was $300. So I thought, okay. But I decided to go ahead and log on to my old annual pass account. So I logged into my old annual pass account, and I put it in the cart, the silver pass, and it was $280. So I thought, great, I save $20 there. So I go to check out, and they ended up hitting me with $30 worth of service fees and taxes. So then I didn't buy it yet. I went back on the website, not under my annual pass, and I checked out, and it was $30. It was $300 plus the same $30 for taxes and service fees, so it ended up being $330. So it still was a $20 discount to buy it through my old account. So I purchased it through my old account. Interesting thing is, this year they made me sign up for auto renewal. even though I was buying it all in one shot. I don't do the payment plan. I still had to sign up for auto renewal. I don't know if that's because I got that $20 off or not. So I purchased the pass, and then I decided to go in and disable auto renewal. So I disabled it right away. And it's funny, if the way you cancel the auto renewal, it's a little difficult to find. They do hide it, but it's not too terrible. But it's definitely something that they don't make it as easy as under your account settings. They're definitely hiding it on you. And when I went to cancel the auto renewal, the way it was worded, it made it sound like that I was forfeiting up my whole pass when I canceled the auto renewal. But I was like, there's no way they would cancel the whole pass just because I canceled the auto renewal. I already paid for the pass. So I canceled it, and sure enough, you can go ahead and cancel auto renewal, and you don't forfeit up your pass. Your pass is still good. So I thought I would just throw that in there. So I ended up, for $310, I ended up getting the pass for the whole year, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, and the 2 water parks. So then on Monday, I went to Busch Gardens with my friends, and they wanted to open the park. So we got there at park opening, and I ate something that night at 3 in the morning because I was at work. But other than that, I didn't eat anything before I came to the park. So I was with a lot of people who haven't rode it. I was with quite a number of people who haven't rode Iron Gwazi yet, and quite a number of people who just haven't been to the park in a while. I think everyone pretty much has been to Busch Gardens. So we got there right at park opening. We decided to go straight to Iron Gwazi, and there was a line. Iron Gwazi didn't open, but it wasn't that big of a line. It was very apparent that the park was dead that morning. But we decided to wait for Iron Gwazi because once they opened, it wasn't going to be that long a line. So Iron Gwazi opened at 10 minutes after park opened, and we only waited, I would say 15 minutes probably. So I rode Iron Gwazi, great ride. It's my number one ride in the park. I had no problems. And it was kind of cool. I was going to vlog this day because some of my Busch Gardens vlogs do better than my regular videos. But I found out it's kind of hard to vlog when you're with a group, because, you just want to spend time with the group. So I didn't really vlog too much. I did film some of the rides. But, another thing that was cool going with the big group was seeing people's reactions to the rides. Like, for example, I ride Iron Gwazi, and it doesn't really do anything to me. I bet if you check my heartbeat while I'm riding Iron Gwazi, my heartbeat probably doesn't change at all. But, seeing other people that your friends get excited because Iron Gwazi is really intense, that was kind of cool. It's just a different perspective than when I usually go to the parks by myself or with my other friend who I go with quite a bit. So, left Iron Gwazi. Then we walked over. We were going to go to Montu, but we decided to hit Cheetah Hunt because Cheetah Hunt was a 10-minute wait. I rode Cheetah Hunt, which normally I don't ride Cheetah Hunt because it's usually an hour wait, and I don't think it's worth an hour wait. But rode Cheetah Hunt, and I got a little queasy to my stomach. Now, in the past, I've noticed that if I have an empty stomach, I shouldn't be riding roller coasters. But I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about it too much. Well, so in hindsight, what I'm trying to get at is I should have ate before I went to Busch Gardens. But then I rode Cobra's Curse afterwards, and it was walk right on for Cobra's Curse. And I got sick. Now, I didn't throw up, but I felt like I was going to throw up. And I felt like if I would have rode another coaster, I would have thrown up. So then everyone went to Montu. And Montu was close to a walk-on. We didn't wait too long, but I didn't ride Montu because I thought I was going to throw up. And I did get a thing of water. So when I go to the parks, I don't feel like buying anything at Busch Gardens. But if they have fountain sodas, you can fill your soda cup up with water there, and it's totally free. So I did get a water. I sat Montu out, and then we walked around. They went on Scorpion. They went on Scorpion. I sat that one out too. That was a walk on. Pretty much to sum up, the park was dead on Monday. Falcon's Fury was closed, and I was wondering if Phoenix was open because for the past couple of months, I've been seeing online, and I know when I went to the park last in June, they had water test dummies on Phoenix, and so I was wondering if they were going to open that back up. That wasn't open, and Sky Ride wasn't open either. Those are two rides that I hope they open back up. I did see construction on the new swinging ride. I don't know if they announced the name of it, the S&S swinging ride. So I think that'll be a good addition to the park because definitely, pretty much to me, Busch Gardens has just become riding roller coasters. There's really not that much variety. So then I was feeling a little better, so I rode Wild Mouse. So I rode Wild Mouse, no problems. Um, let's see, what did we do after that? Oh yeah, then we went to bumper cars. I recommended riding bumper cars because I figured since we were in a group of people that we knew, um, it would be fun to ride bumper cars, which it was fun, but they didn't have enough bumper cars for our group, so it ended up being in two groups. So then we rode the Congo River Rapids, which is one that I usually skip, but that ride's fun if you have a group. So we ended up riding it twice without getting off. The first time we rode, I didn't get wet at all. I was the driest out of the bunch. And I wanted to get off, but the whole group wanted to ride again. So I caved under peer pressure and I rode with them again. And sure enough, the second time we rode, I got drenched. I was the wettest one in the group. So that was fun. And then riding, I call it Wild Mouse, but Sand Serpent, I guess. Riding Sand Serpent, and the Congo ride, I didn't get sick at all. So then after that, we decided to go on Kumba. And I rode in the third row on Kumba. I purposely didn't go in the back. And man, I got sick on Kumba. And I actually my vision got a little fuzzy there, like towards the end with the helix at the end. So after that, I was done. I knew I couldn't ride any more rides. So the worst part is I have a feeling that if I would have ate, I would have been fine. I would have bounced back. I just think for some reason for me, I can't ride on an empty stomach. I've had that problem in the past. And to tell you the truth, it's kind of depressing that I'm getting sick on the rides. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I rode Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster last month, and I got queasy to my stomach riding that, and I was a little depressed about that. It seems like that's a common theme now that I'm getting sick on rides. Like I just can't go all day. In the future, it's definitely known now that I got to have something in my stomach before I go ride a roller coaster. So then they went and they rode Shrika, and when they rode Shrika, I decided to go home. So the park was totally dead. When I was walking out, I walked past Iron Gwazi. Oh, they rode Tigress and then Shrika. And when I was done for the day and I walked out, Iron Gwazi was a 5-minute wait. So it got even. I thought Iron Gwazi was going to get more crowded, but I guess your average park guest won't ride Iron Gwazi multiple times. So when the park was totally dead, like it was on Monday. So in the future, if you go on a dead day, I would recommend not riding Iron Gwazi first, riding the others, and then riding Iron Gwazi because it'll only be a 5-minute wait. Now the caveat is that it's been raining every single evening here. Every single evening it's been raining. I live in the swamp, as you guys may or may not know, and I have a canal in my backyard. The canal is about 3 inches from going over top of my seawall. I mean, the water table's high. It's been raining every evening, so you definitely want to watch out that because they'll close the rides down, and they'll close the rides down if lightning's within the general radius of the park. So you want to be mindful of that because they might close the rides down when you're unexpected. But if you don't have to worry about weather and the park's dead, like I said, the park was dead, I would recommend riding Iron Gwazi last. And another thing I wanted to bring up is, like I said, so after I left the park, I went to Fresh Eats, which I call it the McDowell's of Salem's, which I know a lot of people who, I don't know if Salem's is a Florida thing. I only know it from around here, Florida. But Salem's is like a gyro sub place that, they actually have the gyros with the lamb. But they also have, like, I usually get the Philly cheesesteak there. They have good fries. Well, Fresh Eats is like a knockoff of that. And it's actually, and the food is really good. So I ate at Fresh Eats on the way home. And as soon as I ate at Fresh Eats, I got a Philly cheesesteak with fries, and it's a good. I paid like 13 some dollars, for the combo meal of Philly cheesesteak, and it it was a great meal. And what I'm getting at by saying this is, Busch Gardens doesn't make any money off of. Well, let me back up. I'm kind of peculiar, and I'm against the norm when it comes to certain things. And when it comes to buying stuff and buying food, I might be against the norm. But for me personally, as a pass holder at Busch Gardens, I do not buy any of the food at Busch Gardens unless they give me like one of those $10 Bush Bucks. I don't buy the food at all because the food is horrible and it's overpriced. And it's like it has to be either or. If the food's going to be horrible, it should be at least common. If I thought I could get a meal at Busch Gardens for $13, I would have ate at Busch Gardens. But I knew it was going to be much more than $13, even with my past member discount. So I waited to leave the park. And what I'm getting at is on a day that was as dead as Monday, they didn't make any money, and they didn't make any money off of me because I waited till I left the park. And I felt if I would have ate at the park, I probably would have been fine and could have went all day. And that's another reason I really didn't vlog, because it was kind of embarrassing that I couldn't keep up with everyone and ride the roller coasters. So that's just kind of my 2 cents. So, about the whole park passes, they sent out an email saying they were going to raise the park passes on Monday. So I checked on Monday. They did raise the price. They raised it to $345 for the silver pass for parks. And then before I filmed this video, I checked it again, and they lowered it to $303. So they did, because I was wondering if they were trying to just encourage people to buy passes, and that's why they were telling them that the park price was going to go up. Because that's how they got me to buy the pass, because they said the pass price was going to go up, so I went ahead and bought a pass. And they were truthful on that, and that on Monday they did raise the passes, $45. But at the same time, a week later they lowered it, so the passes only raised $3. So that's why there's a little asterisk in there that Busch Gardens raised their park passes. So we'll definitely see how they do in the future. I've been hearing that Disney's been kind of dead. So if Disney's dead, all the other parks are going to be dead. But I don't regret buying my annual pass. I like having the annual pass, and I'm going to be definitely every month. I'm either going to be going to SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. I actually still haven't rode Icebreaker yet at SeaWorld. And then hopefully, before my pass expires, hopefully that new roller coaster at SeaWorld, that surf coaster, will open. And if I'm in the mood, I'll definitely be filming park vlogs, because like I said, a lot of people seem to like that. But like I said, on Monday I wasn't in the mood, but I just wanted to talk about that, about how they raised their prices, but in reality they didn't. And I also wanted to bring up the fact that if they would actually have better food options and more affordable food, they would be getting, they would have gotten more money out of me. So I probably flapped on long enough. Pretty much I've been working, going to church, doing college classes, and flying my drone. And in my free time, I'm still doing that project where I'm trying to build my own drone frame. I just finished building a workbench for the CNC machine. I built that yesterday. So this week I'm going to go and set up the CNC machine and get it all set up. And hopefully pretty soon here I'll start cutting my own carbon fiber. And then that'll be a whole nother adventure, rabbit trail to go down. But I thought I would just share this, my thoughts about Busch Gardens and the annual pass. I'll see you next time. Later.